Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You're watching United TNT and this is Costa. This is the pre-match build-up to our game this weekend. This is the seventh game in charge for Michael Carrick. He has won 5 games. Who doesn't know that? He has drawn the one game with West Ham. And now we head to our weekend game against Crystal Palace. This video will have all the team lineups that are predicted for this match, along with the squad update and what is the mood around Carrington right now, how are the players feeling, what are the predicted score line for this match. So stay tuned and watch this video. So I think post our match against Everton, the victory of 1-0 that Sesko scored the goal and we got all 3 points. I think the major talk around the club for the last 5 to 6 days is around Sonny Lammens with his impeccable performance in the match alongside Benjamin Sesko and his red hot form. I think a lot of pundits, a lot of media houses have come up and praised these two players, especially Sonny Lammens, who we just paid 18.5 million euros to get to Manchester United. He looks like the player of the season in the signings department and a bargain of a deal for 18.5 million. You see goalkeepers like Alisson, Kepa, right? Onana, sadly Onana, Mendy, right? Ederson. All these players were bought by these clubs for at least 50 or higher million. But here we have Sonny Lammens, who is half or even lesser than half of that price. But the command on the game that he has currently, still, we have to see that it's just his first season. He's only played 14 to 15 games. But still, the command that he has in this game right now in the Premier League is impeccable. It was a drubbing by Everton in the penalty box for Manchester United last weekend. No defender was getting space. Sonny Lammens was crowded out for every corner that they had. Still, out of 10 corners, I think in 9 corners, Lammens made sure that he comes out and punches the ball away from the corner. That is commendable, right? If you see the highlights and if you see the space that he was operating in, many a times he had to start inside the goal to come out and clear these balls, right? So I think a fantastic performance by Sonny Lammens, and I think he's getting the due praise that he deserves. So good job, Lammens, and I hope that you continue this form. And the second player, Benjamin Sesko, red hot form, scored 5 goals in the last 6 games that he has played in. Not started, came off from the bench in most of these games, other than the Burnley game. I think the Burnley game is where he started and scored 2 goals. But all the other games that he has had a cameo in, he has scored in all of those games except Manchester City, where he was an unused sub, and Arsenal, where he came on, but he couldn't score, right? So a phenomenal performance, a crazy form right now for Sesko, averaging 1 goal every 38 minutes that he's playing. And that is why I think in today's video, I would talk about the predicted lineups where I am pushing a start for Sesko as well. So stay tuned for that. But yes, I think the highest praise that Sesko has gotten is from Thierry Henry. He had gotten the similar praise when he scored the goal against West Ham, the flick which we got the draw from. Similarly, this time around as well, Thierry Henry has praised Sesko's quality, his vision, because he, if you remember, he's the one who passed the ball to Shaw after taking it on, and Shaw to Cunha, and then Cunha lofted that ball for Brian Mbeumo. So Sesko was at the heart of the move starting, and he was the one who was running from where Cunha was to the other end of the pitch and making sure that he's there to receive the ball from Mbeumo. So a fantastic performance by Benjamin Sesko, and I think he deserves all the praise. So yes, a lot of talk and a lot of conjecture for the last 4 to 5 days is about these two players, and I think it is a fair discussion on their performances. So yes, I am hoping that these two players start this weekend as well, and we get to see even more better performances from them. In other news for the week, I think it's a lot of talk against our opponents, Crystal Palace, and how we have fared against them in the last 3 to 4 seasons. To our surprise, we have not been in a good form against Crystal Palace. We went there this season and got a 2-1 win, which is a very cagey match. I think it could have been a draw. It could have gone to Crystal Palace as well. But I think we won. And that was the first win in the last 5 games that we've had against Palace, which is shocking. In the last 5 games, other than this win, out of the 4 remaining matches, we've just drawn 1 and we've lost 3 matches against Palace. And shockingly enough, out of those 3 losses for the last 2 seasons running, we have lost at home to Palace. That is a shocking stat that we have not won against Crystal Palace at home at Old Trafford for the last 2 seasons. The last time we won was the 22-23 season. It's a long time for not to be winning against a team that is either a mid-table team or fighting for relegation in some of those seasons as well, right? So the form is pathetic. Yes, we got to win this season. And I'm hoping that obviously with the form that we are in, we will continue that trajectory of winning against Palace again. But other than that, I think we have to be wary. Palace has some good players, some players who are linked with us. Their manager is linked with us. So it's not a team that we can very casually say that, okay, we will win against them. No, I think we have to be wary, and we will discuss about Palace more in detail in the forward parts of the video as well. But yes, these are the major things that have been happening in and around the club. Other than this, I think a major story that we saw coming out for the club was the financial results, the second quarter results that have come out. And shockingly, United are doing well on the revenue front, which is a good sign because we would need good revenues to buy more players in the next season. However, because this is quarter 2 results, we have played a majority of our matches at home, and overall from the 40 matches that we have to play, a lot of them have been covered in quarter 2. So I think the results were a little rosier. However, once quarter 3, quarter 4 results come, I think our revenue will start going down because of the matches, the reduction in matches that we are playing this season, and that will affect us. And I will cover the financial position of Manchester United in a different video, a complete breakdown on what is going on, what will the revenue look like, and what will probably be the budgets in the next season as well, right? So stay tuned for that video. Very soon we will have that up. So right now, these are the updates that we have around the club. Now let's jump into the squad update for the Crystal Palace match. So on the squad front, I think after the presser from Michael Carrick yesterday, we have come to know that the long-term absentee, Patrick Dogu, is still on his way to recovery. So he will not obviously feature for us in this game. He has been sidelined for at least April or May. Other than him, I think 2 major players that we've been waiting to see back in action, Matthias de Ligt and Mason Mount. Matthias de Ligt is probably still couple of weeks or at least 3 to 4 weeks out because Carrick stressed on his back injury, which is a little tricky for them to get him on the pitch and get him on the grass. So yes, that might still take a little longer. But Mason Mount, as per Carrick, has been training. We don't know if he will feature on this Crystal Palace game, but he's close to coming back to full fitness. Other than these 3, I think the surprising shock that we got last time around was Licha Martinez, who had picked up a knock and he could not start the Everton game. He is one of a key player for Michael Carrick right now because he's the one who's starting a lot of moves from the back. He is making sure that the ball is sticking in the forward areas of the pitch. And I think we missed him somewhere in the Everton game as well. Sadly, he is still not 100% fit, and I don't think he's going to start this weekend as well. So Martinez will be a miss. I think Martinez-Maguire partnership was growing very, very well. And I think it was a very shocking thing to hear that Martinez is out with an injury last time around against Everton. Sadly, we'll have to make do without him in this match as well. So these are the 4 absentees. Other than this, we have a 100% fully fit squad. For the lineup, I am going with Lammens obviously in goal, followed by Harry Maguire and Euro, who had performed really, really well against Everton. He was making sure that Lammens is not getting crowded. He marked Tarkowski, who is experienced and a big centre back. He had a lot of tackles that stopped the attacks building for Everton. So a fantastic performance by Lenny Yoro in the last match, and I think he deserves to start this game alongside Maguire. And on both flanks, we would have Luke Shaw and Diego Dallo, right? So we will stick with that lineup because they have been performing really well. In the midfield, the ever stays now Casemiro and Kobe Mainu, followed by Fernandes in the number 10 position. On the left, Cunha, because he has been performing well as well. On the right side is where I will probably change the lineup a bit. Ahmad should be dropped from this game. I think he gives us the running, he gives us the pace, he gives us the fight. But I think his end product in goal scoring has not been there for majority of the season, right? He has scored, I think, 1 or 2 goals. That's it. And I think right now, with the players we have and who are in red hot form, I think Ahmad needs to drop out of this game. Mbemo should play on the right side, and Benjamin Sesko should start up front. Sesko needs to start this game. We have to see, giving him 90 minutes, what he does. He has performed really, really well over the last 6 matches, done what the manager wanted him to do, has become that name super sub, right? Comes off the bench, scores a goal, and has given us 7 points in the last 6 games. So I think Sheshko needs to start. So that's my team, the predicted 11 that I feel should start against Crystal Palace at home this Sunday. Now, a quick look at our opponents on the weekend, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace form, as I discussed, has been great against United, but this season their form is a little off. They have won the FA Cup last season. Before that, when Oliver Glasner took over the club, they finished in the top 10 positions as well. They are going really strong in the Conference League as well. I think they have defeated the team in the knockout rounds and are going into the round of 16 as well. So going strong in the Conference League, out of the FA Cup by a minnow side. So that had not gone well with them. But their Premier League form is a struggle this season as well. In the last 5 games, I think they have won 2 games against Wolves and Brighton. They have lost 2 games, one against Chelsea at home, and the other one a shock defeat against Burnley, who's a relegation threatened side, and we know Burnley will be relegated. They lost at home to Burnley 3-2. And there was a draw with Nottingham Forest, which was also another relegation struggling side. So their last 5 game forms is not good. Before that, they've had multiple defeats. I think Sunderland, Newcastle, couple of draws here and there, but their form has not been great. That is also coupled with Oliver Glasner, their star manager, who has already come out and said that he will be leaving the club at the end of the season because of what he feels that the club is not rightly motivated to take the next step, to take the club forward. They have had 2 of their biggest stars leave the club on the last or the penultimate day of the transfer window. Eberechi Eze moving to Arsenal just before the window was closing. And now Mark Guehi, their star defender, who has moved to Manchester City on the last day of the January transfer window. I think lack of planning, no backups for these stars being bought has pissed Oliver Glasner off, and he is not happy with the club and how they are being managed. And I think that's why he's come out already 3 to 4 weeks back and already has said that he will be leaving the club at the end of the season. So that is not a very good space for the players as well. And I think that shows in their form. Oliver Glasner is also one of the managers that has been linked with the Manchester United job. There was a lot of speculation that because he's in for that job, he has already come out and said that he will be leaving the job at Crystal Palace. But that is conjecture. We don't know. Yes, Oliver Glasner is a good manager. His preferred style of play, again, is 3 at back. I don't think we would want to go down that lane again. We've seen that with Ruben Amorim. The players that we have do not fit that system. And I don't prefer Oliver Glasner as the next United manager for that very reason. Other than that, I think from a player perspective for this match, Crystal Palace have a lot of star players in their team who can change matches on their own. The number 1 being Adam Wharton, solid number 8. He has already been linked with Manchester United as a replacement for Casemiro. Alongside that, they have just transferred in Strad Larsen from Wolves, who's a striker. I think he gives them a lot of firepower in their attack. Along that side, they have Ismail Assar on the right wing, who's a very good winger, good form right now, and I think we should be wary of his pace. And we have Munoz as well, who has, I think, scored against United in the last match as well. So these 4 to 5 players are good players for Crystal Palace right now, in good form, and I think we should be wary of these threats on the pitch. Now, we know what the predicted 11 for Manchester United is, what is the current form for Crystal Palace, how we have fared against them, how are their standings in the Premier League right now. With all of that information in the form that United are in, my prediction for this match is a 3-0 United victory. 3-0 is a ambitious scoreline. I know with Manchester City, it could have been 4 or 5. With Arsenal, it could have been 4 or 5. With Tottenham, it could have been 4 or 5 as well, right? But we've already seen that we get stuck at a 2-0 or a 1-0, or if it's a KG match, it's a 3-2, right? We've not gotten any other kind of a scoreline right now in the last 6 matches again with Michael Carrick. So in this match, why I'm going for the 3-0 is the performance by Sané Lammens in the last couple of matches has been great. So I feel that he will keep a clean sheet alongside solid performances from Maguire and Euro as well, and in front of the goalkeeper. And since our attack is buzzing right now, Sesko starting, Mbeumo, Cunha and Fernandes, these 4 playing together right now gives me the feeling that we would score a lot of goals, and hence a bold prediction of a 3-0 victory for United. Let me know if that is something that you guys also feel, and comment on the chat as well. So this was the pre-match build-up against Crystal Palace, our match on Sunday. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think the United will get an easy victory, or do you think will it be a KG match again, knowing that Manchester United has not won against Crystal Palace in the last 2 seasons at Old Trafford? So stay tuned for the post-match reactions after we have played the match on Sunday. Till then, keep watching, subscribe, and keep commenting. GGMU.